The Arcturian Group Message, May 7, 2017. Dear readers, once again we come in love and with the very best of intentions for your spiritual advancement. Although world evolution appears to be stalled, unchanging, and even regressing, know that the intense frequencies of light flowing to Gaia at this time are serving to expose the long-hidden creations of that unillumined consensus consciousness based in duality and separation that has held and continues to hold mankind in bondage. World chaos is serving to awaken many still living comfortably in the belief that anything they are told by governments, churches, and experts must be true. They are beginning to reclaim their power, asking, "Is this really how I want my world to be? Is this really the way things are?" It is a small element that continues to keep the dark machine running, but energies of belief serve to feed fresh energy to their machinations and keep them alive. This is changing. This is the ascension process. As more and more awaken and refuse to play their games, world consciousness must and will reflect new and higher expressions. There are no laws to support poverty, lack, or limitation in any form other than those formed by a belief in them. Lack is a part of universal consciousness, duality, haves and have-nots, until it is no longer one state of consciousness. Divine law is a law of abundance and multiplication. Observe the blades of grass and the leaves on a tree, for these reflect the law of abundance in manifestation. Where there is an attained consciousness, not intellectual knowledge, of oneness with divine completeness, there is abundance, for the door has been opened. New and better ideas begin to flow effortlessly to all aspects of life, and those things necessary seem to somehow be there when needed. Most people still live under the thumb of duality, which manifests as pairs of opposites and is considered normal by human standards. Having lived under the domination of duality and separation consciousness lifetime after lifetime, the idea of completeness and wholeness sounds impractical and unattainable to many. Try not to resist the truth of abundance, declaring reasons why it cannot be. The energies of third-dimensional experiences of lack and limitation, remain stored and active in cellular memory until cleared, the process you are in now. Mankind is continually being bombarded with energies of fear, lack, and limitation which can make awakening difficult, especially for those new to truth. This is why we say that it is important that you limit your indulgence in the news, and things that continue to hold you in the old consciousness. Instead, when you become aware of issues, use them to trigger an awareness of truth. Yes, I see this, I do not deny it, but the truth is. Intention is always the key in any action. When an individual states his intention to awaken, the journey begins and will unfold by grace as the higher self begins to draw whatever experiences may be necessary for spiritual evolution. Some of these experiences are not the happy light and love experiences a new truth student often expects, but eventually every soul graduates from needing wake-up calls to learning from inner guidance. You are ready to embrace and integrate completeness and wholeness because you now understand that divine consciousness is all that exists, and that therefore it must be the essence of who and what you are. Separation and discord cannot exist within one. The spiritual evolutionary journey is the gradual attainment of this state of consciousness through meditation, study, practice, and life experiences. Many still believe that at a certain level of awareness the spiritual journey is complete. Ascension is a shift into higher dimensional energy, but there is never completion. The ascension continues into the higher dimensions because Source is infinite, eternally expressing itself in new and infinite ways. Man, God's expression of itself, is thus also ever seeking new awareness of the One Self. The human condition with its worship of the intellect, is in actuality the bottom rung of a very high dimensional ladder. In the human belief system, there are always goals, the drive to attain some physical, emotional, mental, or spiritual goal in order to then cross it off the list and move on to another goal. The spiritual evolutionary journey is ongoing, each new facet of awareness building upon what has already been attained. There is no point at which you will no longer experience new and higher ways of understanding truth if you are open to it. Abundance/multiplication is divine law and thus manifests on all levels: physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, which is why resistance to change acts to block its expressions as well as spiritual evolution. This is often a problem for spiritual teachers, leaders, experts, and even individuals well along the spiritual path. When someone believes they have arrived and that there is nothing more to learn, they block anything new from coming in. They write books and teach classes promoting their attained level of awareness, but because they identify so heavily with the ideas they teach, any change would represent a loss of self, and so they resist and fear it. Self-proclaimed spiritual leaders and their followers often hold the most resistance to truth. They hold rigidly to concepts of truth, believing them to be the wholeness. They make these concepts their lifeline, and refuse receptivity to anything that may deviate from their belief system. This is the ongoing error of the many organized religions that hold followers to strict rules, which in reality are simply some leaders' three-dimensional concepts of truth. The disobedience of these rules is often punishable in this world as well as in the next, where everlasting punishment awaits. These false teachings serve to create the perfect block to higher understanding. When an individual is truly ready to evolve, old beliefs long held as true automatically begin to fall away. The person's resonance has changed and is no longer in alignment with them. This may bring about a period of personal struggle and fear, as well as strife within the family, church, and friends, because up to this point their belief system may have been their only bond. Evolution is change. As you spiritually evolve, the fruitage will always be new ideas with regard to work, lifestyle, likes and dislikes, beliefs, etc., regardless of what your work may be. Evolution is the eternal unfolding of Source within all of its expressions and states of consciousness, Source recognizing and loving itself. Some of you are finding that your favorite spiritual practices and teachings no longer resonate with you in the powerful ways they once did. This does not always mean that these things are finished, but often indicates that you are ready to move beyond the way in which you have understood them, into a deeper realization of the truth they represent. Never fear to leave behind practices that may have been vital to your journey at some point. Realize that spiritual practices in and of themselves have never had the power to make you what you already are. They are simply tools that serve to augment energy and assist one to see and understand on a higher level. Like all tools, even spiritual practices become obsolete because once you have attained the consciousness of who and what you really are, what is their point? Creativity in all its forms is the divine feminine expressing itself, divine mother giving birth to new ideas in infinite form and variety on all levels and in all dimensions. The energy of the divine feminine resides within the heart center, and as increasingly more people allow their hearts to open, integrating and activating the energy of the divine feminine in balance with the divine masculine, it will manifest as creative ideas heretofore never dreamed of. In order for this true creativity to flow and manifest, the divine masculine must also be integrated, for they are two halves of a divine whole. Men are being guided to integrate and allow their divine feminine to flow, while women are being guided to integrate and allow their divine masculine to flow. The creative ideas of one without the other are either non-existent or only able to manifest in incomplete, three-dimensional, and often uninspiring forms. Allow the process, dear ones, allow the process. Be not afraid to embrace and implement each new truth into all facets of daily living. Trust that your higher self is always guiding and leading you to where you are ready to be. Allow the process. We are the Arcturian group. Channeled by Marilyn Raphael. www.onenessofall.com